Alright guys, welcome to my Nels preview and predictions for WWE Night of Champions, which takes place this Sunday live on the WWE Network. How are you doing, Elle? Have you been out celebrating?
Yesterday, but certainly not about that monstrosity.
I'm sure you had good reasons to. Nikki's reign's probably not one of them, is it?
Nah, no wonder nobody turned up to that stupid party.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they turned it down. I was surprised like PCB even showed up just to mock her. It should be interesting to see what happens though this Sunday at Night of Champions, because I'm pretty much sure it's got to be a case that she finally ends this reign. It's gone on way too long, so we're not going to jump into predictions just yet. We're going to go back to last month because we've got some SummerSlam predictions. So congratulations in order for 3 people: WWE Click, Lollipop Killer and Chicken Boxer 44. That's some username. They all topped SummerSlam predictions with 9 out of 9 correct results after the Rusev and Ziggler match was void. So congratulations to you guys. Also congratulations to me, as I actually come out on top of mine and Elle's personal prediction battle. So that was the first time. It was a big deal for me.
How many did you win by before you start bragging?
Well, I got 7 correct results compared to your 5.
Yeah, well, there was a few screwy finishes, so let's void that whole pay-per-view.
Let's not.
And God knows how those other people got 9 out of 9. That's a total lie.
Well, they worked for creative, obviously.
Yeah, it's probably fixed.
Well, I'm just going to milk it at the minute because it's the last couple of months. You've been on top and I haven't stood a chance. So I want to see if this is a fluke and if like normal service resumes this month, or if I can just carry this on, because I'm kind of hoping this is like me picking up momentum now and it's going to carry on the same way.
Oh, what do you think you are seeing? I've been for a few weeks and now you're just going to bury me.
Yeah, that's how it works. You get the win in there and then I just like double it and just keep on rolling.
I don't think so. I'm not going with that one.
Well, let's see how it goes. Guys, if you want to submit predictions, you can do so at smacktalks.org/predictions, and then I'll post results on Monday morning so you can see how well you do. So we're going to move on to predictions. We've got the kickoff match that kicks off the show. That is Neville and the Lucha Dragons taking on the Cosmic Wasteland. So we've got Stardust teaming up with Connor and Victor, the Ascension. So how do you see this match going? Do you like what's happening with Stardust and Neville? Or do you think that this would maybe end by now?
I like what's happening with Stardust and Ascension, but I think I'm kind of over Stardust and Neville as a feud.
It's kind of surprising to me that's like still going on, because I thought like SummerSlam would be the end of this feud and then they would move on to something else. But they're kind of sticking with this whole like comic book idea. So they've now brought in the Ascension, which I think is a good move because it gives them something to do, and they're actually getting wins, which is like a really big surprise.
I'm actually enjoying watching them on the main roster for once.
They work kind of well with Stardust. Like they're being billed as the henchmen of Stardust, so it's still with that like comic book feel. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's something quite fresh for all. Stardust isn't doing anything new. Having those two with them, I don't know, it's bringing something a bit more fresh.
It is, and like with the like tag team division at the minute, it's on a high with like the Dudleys returning. So the more they can do to like get the Ascension over and get the Lucha Dragons over, just like keeping the focus on other teams and not like sort of putting them on the back burner while we've got the Dudleys and the New Day. I think it's really good that they've got them in this, and you know, anything with the Ascension that gets them back on track, that's good for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely all for it. They've actually done a really good job over the past 2 years with the tag team division, and this is just another extension of it.
It has. It's really come on quite a lot with this. I think in terms of this match, I don't know if this will be the end to it though. I think we'll probably see another match next month, which sees like a singles match, Neville and Stardust. But I think prediction wise for this one, I'm going to go with Stardust and the Ascension, so like the bad guys get the win this time.
Yeah, I actually really agree with that one. I don't think it'd help if feud is going to continue to have Neville win yet again.
Yeah, totally, because he won last time with Stephen Amell, so that was kind of like the good guys coming out on top. So I think you've got to give like the baddies a win.
Surely for once. And to be quite frank, Stardust is more enjoyable than Neville.
He is, to be honest. Like in terms of ring work, I would say like Neville is amazing, but like Stardust's whole personality, he's really embraced it now, and it comes across as like being like really good to watch.
He's definitely come into his own with the character. At first I was a bit he's a bit annoying, but I don't know, he's really grown into it now.
Yeah, he was kind of like lacking behind Goldust, but now it's probably like with Goldust being out of the picture and the focus being purely on Stardust, like in him like really taking it to the next level. I think I really like it. I like that they're going with this. Now, I would much rather see him stick with Stardust instead of Cody.
Oh, definitely. It's just kind of a shame that he's not in any title picture at the minute.
It is, but I think that could come. I think the Intercontinental Championship is probably something that he could get involved in.
Oh, definitely. I think now that he's got the Ascension, like he says, as henchman, I think the sky's the limit, really.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. So we're on the same page for this first match. That's usually the case. So
Yeah.
we're both going with Stardust and Ascension in this first match. So move on to the second match. We'll have the WWE Tag Team Championships on the line as the New Day defend their titles against the recently returning Dudley Boys, who are out to become the 10-time WWE Tag Team Champions. So I think this should be an awesome match, but I absolutely love the New Day. I don't think they can do anything wrong at the minute. They're just so entertaining in everything they do. So whether it's on the mic, with a trombone, like it's just so entertaining. They can sing, they can dance, they can do everything.
And they get to play like Final Fantasy themes without getting copyrighted.
That was so cool, wasn't it? I'm surprised, like, if WWE upload it to YouTube, they'll probably get flagged for that.
Well, the rest of us do, so why not them?
Yeah, we've got to get them flagged as well. How do you see it panning out?
I definitely think it would be the wrong idea to give the Dudleys the title just yet. I think it'd do probably a lot more damage to both teams doing it like that.
I think
Dudleys haven't been around too long, like, since they've returned. And I don't think they've deserved it yet. I think it'd be like a rub in the face to the other tag teams who have been fighting for weeks.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think, like, in terms of the New Day only just winning it back, I think this should be, like, quite a lengthy reign for them. Because we're seeing when, like, the Primetime Players won it, and the focus was still on the New Day. I think it still is, and there's still a lot you can do with the New Day. And because they're, like, so entertaining and so over,
yeah,
this program with the Dudleys, I think it's something that could go on for, like, quite a while. So I think this will be like the first in a series of matches, and when it does end and the Dudleys do look to win the titles, I think that should be like a table match.
Yeah, I think it gives them a bit of legitimacy as well, like picking up a win over someone like the Dudleys. It's not like something that's an all-out brawl type thing. You've got your comedy moments, but I definitely think it'll be something that like people look back at like a few years from now.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And it always helps when you have like a well-known tag team that come in and then they get the win over them, because it just verifies them. So it's something that we're kind of seeing at the minute with Rollins, because he's got Sting to go up against at Night of Champions. So it's the same kind of thing with him.
It's just a shame we couldn't have like Edge and Christian like when they're in that backstage promo. That as a triple threat tag team match would be like hysterical.
That would be so amazing. Like, I think I was watching that segment and I was just thinking, oh man, it's such a shame that Edge is retired, because like, seeing like the Dudleys back, it brings back all their memories, and they're like showing so much of the Hardys and like highlight packages as well. And you see Edge and Christian, you see them there, you see them on Raw interacting with the Dudleys and the New Day. It's like, man, I really want to see that.
I suppose we could just have like a dance off. Well, not a dance off. We don't need any more of those, but like an instrument off or something.
A kazoo off.
Yeah, kazoo off. Like they've got the trombone. I don't know what the Dudleys would do.
I'm sure they'd like have some wooden instruments and just smash it over someone's head. I think that's a really good way to go. Like the comedy segments with the New Day are just so good. Like I've seen you tweeting out loads of like the stuff with Team BAD.
Yeah, they've like really been hilarious backstage, and they've definitely got a presence. Xavier Woods is like like I didn't really know Xavier Woods. I didn't really watch him in NXT, but in New Day he's absolutely hilarious, and he's probably one of my favourites on the like complete roster now.
Yeah, he's comedy gold. Like everything he's doing with the trombone, like it's so amazing to watch. I just absolutely love him.
He's really good on the mic as well, like a really quick thinker, something that not many of them have now.
He has got that going for him. It's like one of them points that sets him out, and when you get someone like that, you know, like they're kind of destined for good things. Like I would love to see this Team BAD stuff though actually come to TV. Yeah,
it's a shame like they don't give them like that sort of angle with the divas like backstage, but at least we've got Twitter and things.
Yeah, it's so good to like check out on Twitter. So if you haven't seen it, I would highly suggest if you go follow like the New Day and like Team BAD. There's so many of them. It seems to be like a daily thing now.
Yeah, I've never seen Tamina with such a personality as well.
That's like the big thing, isn't it? Because like every interview and things, she's like standing there silent, looking all like really bodyguard, like just broody in the background. It's like, you know, this is a completely different side of her.
And then you get to see them singing Kiss from a Rose by Seal.
That was another amazing thing. There's so much that's coming out. It's the joys of Twitter. It can be a really bad thing in terms of wrestling, but when you see things like that, it's just so cool.
They definitely need like their own comedy segment or something. And this is the thing as well. Usually WWE are really bad at comedy, like with certain things. But like the New Day, they've got them down to a T.
Absolutely. I wonder like how much of this is actually like the New Day themselves, and like how much of it's being scripted, because it feels like this is actually them and it's their personality that's coming through, and that's probably why it works a lot better.
Well, it definitely rubbed off on Stephanie and Triple H on Raw.
It definitely did. It was amazing to see Triple H dancing.
I was surprised that Stephanie joined in, then when Triple H joined in, I was like, oh my god.
They've got some moves, haven't they?
Definitely popping them out.
It was amazing to watch. And I honestly, I kind of wait to see what happens in Night of Champions just for the New Day. I just want to see what they do. What do you make of the whole save the tables thing?
I can't say. I like really love the Dudleys with the tables, but I'm a bit like, and not enough is enough, but like I kind of wish they'd saved it a little bit.
What, with bringing out the tables to put someone through? Kind of keep that as like a finale?
Yeah, like I think they've nearly done it every time since they've been back.
They have kind of, yeah. They've kind of overdone it. Like it's good if you get like a build up to that happening. So
yeah.
like, if Night of Champions was to happen, and then at the end of the match we'll put someone through the table. Like we've already seen the 3D through the table, so that could have been like a big thing at the end of Night of Champions.
Yeah, like I know, like we didn't see a table spot for like, unless there's a theme PPV, we never see it. But now like we've got it all the time. I don't know.
It's kind of weird because when I first seen them come back, I was kind of thinking, this isn't that Attitude Era, so I don't know how often we're going to see tables and things. But then it's really surprised us, like the amount of like times we've seen them bring out a table and people have actually gone through it.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. I don't know. I don't know how far it can go without it coming off as boring eventually. I don't know.
I think like if they kind of use it sparsely, like the whole save the tables thing is probably a good way to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I can't remember them pulling the table out this much, like back in the day.
Yeah, it wasn't really, was it? It was just like more so at the end of matches when he'd shout for Devon to get the tables, but he didn't always get them.
So, I definitely think someone's going to go through a table though, regardless of the outcome.
Well, I'll ask you for your prediction then. Not on the match, but who do you think is going to go through a table?
Xavier Woods, definitely.
Yeah, definitely Xavier Woods.
Or maybe the trombone, or maybe both.
And put the trombone through a table. There we go.
It sounds like something they'd do.
It sounds like an awesome plan to me. How about your prediction for the match itself? I think I'm going to go with the New Day. I think it's way too early to give it the Dudleys. And the way that Bubba's treated TNA, as soon as he gets what he wants, he leaves. So I wouldn't give him a title reign just yet.
Oh, apparently he's a right sulk backstage. But yeah, I think if the New Day were to leave, it'd do no favours to neither of them. So definitely New Day to return.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So we're 2 for 2 at the minute. The next match, it sees the greatest love story since Twilight, as we'll have Dolph Ziggler once again taking on Rusev. So he'll have Summer Rae in his corner, although it doesn't look like we're going to see Lana because she's out with a broken wrist, and obviously, as you know, that keeps you off TV.
Well, the thing is, first off, whose corner is Summer Rae for one? I can't work that out.
I think that is going to be like the big kind of talking point in this match. Like, I'm sure like they'll bring that up, and I think it's going to lead into the finish.
And as well, I can't, like in my head, because I'm a girl, I can't decide if Dolph's being a bit heel or not.
See, I kind of make it as like he's playing Summer, because like for anyone that hasn't seen it, he gave Summer a gift on Raw, and then that was revealed to be like a pair of earrings that was quite expensive. So they had a backstage segment on SmackDown, and Ziggler said, you know, there's nothing in it. Sometimes it doesn't mean anything, and then he come back and says, but sometimes it does. So it kind of comes across as though Ziggler's trying to get in the head of Summer and make her think, you know, Ziggler actually likes her, and for that reason she could then help him win the match. So for me, I kind of think this could be kind of like Summer accidentally on purpose costing Rusev the match.
Well, there are a few rumours as well that when Lana does come back, whenever the hell that is, that Lana and Rusev are going to be back together. So I don't think she'll come back tomorrow, but
I think, like, from the videos that I've seen of her, she's in so much pain, and she's only just barely pulled through. So she could be out for years at this rate.
I'm surprised she can walk.
I'm surprised she can walk too. Like, she won't have a balance with like her wrist being like so bad.
I wouldn't care. It only looks like a little scratch.
Well, apparently she's had like screws and things put in, so I don't know what the hell she done.
She sounds like she's got a screw loose the way she's going
She
on.
does, doesn't she? She needs it tightened up.
But I definitely see Lana turning up. I don't think she'll be back tomorrow. If she does, maybe she'll wear a pot or something and clonk him on the head.
Well, that's something that we've seen like a lot, like in wrestling angles. Like someone's come back with a cast and then they've used it to their advantage. So I'm kind of surprised she's not on TV, and that could be like a way to win the match. It kind of makes sense to me.
I'm kind of glad she's not around. I do love Lana, but whatever the hell they thought they were doing with Dolph and Lana, it's totally killed it for me.
Well, it just seems to go from like bad to worse. Like it's like kicking a dog Ziggler while it's down.
Very punny.
It is. But it is kind of that feeling, though. It just seems to get worse and worse. And you think maybe like they turn the corner, and I think a couple of weeks ago it seemed like Lana was maybe getting a bit of that like respect and things back. But
yeah,
I don't know. It seems to have gone backwards again, and she's off TV. So this could just be a case of them kind of prolonging it, and they've thrown in this summer thing to sort of pass the time until Lana gets back on TV.
I honestly can't decide. I think it's definitely going to still go on for God knows ever how long if Lana is going to come back and go back to Rusev.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You don't see like an ending coming to this anytime soon.
Which is unfortunate because it's boring as hell.
It's very unfortunate. It's not doing anything for them, is it?
I want to see these bloody earrings as well that are apparently such a fortune.
Yeah, she didn't show them off. Like maybe she'll wear them at Night of Champions.
I was starting to think the box was empty.
Well, I'm sure there's like some amazing earrings in there because it seems to have like really swayed Summer. So she's got to get something if she's actually believing this.
A brain transplant, that's what you need.
That's what they all need. That's what the writers need.
God knows why Dolph re-signed just to go through this crap.
Well, they've probably pitched this to him as a completely different angle. Or then again, they could have just said, you get to kiss Lana, and he's been like, you know what, I've kissed every other diva. Sign us up for it.
I kind of keep forgetting that Rusev's in this whole thing.
That is like a good point, actually, because at the minute it's all like Ziggler and Summer. So
yeah.
Rusev seems to be the one that's getting pushed aside, and he doesn't like that. So
I
maybe he'll turn on Summer.
They've totally destroyed both Lana and Rusev. Lana and Rusev are like my favourite thing from last year. It was something that we hadn't seen for years. It felt like really, like kind of Sergeant Slaughter type, those type of days.
Yeah, it did. It had that like old school feel, and I know you've mentioned that a few times, and I think you're like perfectly right when you say that. It did have that kind of feel, and it's hard to imagine that was only like earlier this year. Like we're seeing Rusev and Cena.
Yeah,
and that was completely different booking to what Rusev's kind of become now.
It's just a shame. Maybe it is the curse of John Cena. Who knows?
Should we just blame Cena? It's all Cena's fault.
Yeah, blame Cena and Nikki Bella.
How would you say going prediction wise? Are you going to go with Ziggler? Are you going to go with Rusev in this one?
I think I'm gonna. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I think I'm gonna go with Rusev.
I think it needs to be Rusev, but
yeah.
I'm going to go opposite here. I'm going to say that Summer does cost him the match, and maybe like Ziggler's gotten ahead. So I don't know if maybe she'll do it on purpose or if it'll be an accident, or you'll say that she did do it on purpose afterwards. But I kind of think maybe Ziggler with the help of Summer.
We could get like a total mind boggery. I was going to swear, but I won't.
I thought you were going to there. I thought you were going to let rip.
Maybe inadvertently Summer's going to end up messing with Dolph's head, which costs him the match. He just seemed rather smitten for some reason.
See, I think that's all a plan though. So I don't know. Do you think that could happen? Do you think that could be the finish?
I'm just hopeful that Rusev wins before he ends up retiring or something.
Yeah, he needs a win, doesn't he?
I think he may as well be injured at this point because it's doing him no favours at all.
Well, he's already been injured, and I think that was like the best spell he's had recently when he was out.
At least he returned with some sort of pot on though.
Exactly, and like he returned with a cast and he used it. So like, let's see, maybe Lana can do that. Maybe that'll be the finish to the match.
Fingers crossed.
So you're going to go with Rusev. I'm going to go with Ziggler. So that is that match sorted. The next match that we've got, it's a 6-man tag team match. So there's a bit of mystery about this one. We've got Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and their mystery partner to take on the Wyatt family, which is Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and the new black sheep to the family, Braun Strowman. So this could really be like the new version of The Shield. We've got Dean Ambrose Reigns, and then it's all about their partner. So that's where the kind of focus is now. We've had Braun Strowman come in. He's been a beast. The guy's absolutely huge, and he's been choking out people left, right, and centre. Anyone that's actually been seen with Reigns or with Ambrose, they've all been taken out. So there's nobody left. And I'm surprised anyone wants to actually team up with him at this point.
I wouldn't want to team up with him anyway, especially Roman Reigns. Fair enough, Dean Ambrose, but...
Do you not think he's been calling The Rock? Like, oh, Rock, come down, help us out. I'm in a bit of a trouble here. I've come up against this, like, giant. We need your help.
Well, that did him a lot of favours last time. Didn't you get, like, silent boos out of the building last time?
Well, that's the thing. I'm sure The Rock's reply would be, did you not see what happened last time? Did you hear the crowd? Come on, Roman. So I can't say it being The Rock. I think we can rule that out straight away.
See, people have been saying about from when WWE leaked that thing of Baron Corbin. But the only thing I can't work out with that, isn't he a heel? I'm
not entirely sure. I think he had been in a program with Rhino on NXT, and he beat Rhino. So I think he was a face leading up to that point. I don't know what he is now, but I watched NXT this week, and I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that he teamed with Rhino in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament. So maybe they're a heel team. I'm not sure. But the whole point that, if I'm right, and I'm not just like totally making that up, and like he is teaming with Rhino, it makes it kind of weird for him then suddenly team with Reigns and Ambrose. But like, for anyone that doesn't know, there was a leaked image that was going around. Apparently WWE.com had uploaded the same image with like the guy blacked out, and it had Baron Corbin in there. So that's where all the Corbin rumours are coming from. So there could be truth to that, and that could be what they've actually got planned. But for me, I'm kind of worried in case it's going to be the really obvious option, and it's like one of the guys that Strowman took out, like Randy Orton, or maybe like a return Eric Rowan.
I hope to God it's not Randy Orton. Ugh.
Well, as long as he's not in a match with Sheamus.
I just hope he's not in a match at all. He needs this like vacation that he's been asking for apparently backstage.
Well, if he has, then like getting Raw off TV, maybe that's a good thing. Like, can keep him out for a while.
Has Eric Rowan actually been cleared? Because I've seen online that he's like due back soon, but like I've never seen that he's cleared.
I don't know if he's been cleared. I think if he has, maybe they might keep it quiet if he is going to be like the third man.
Yeah.
So
I definitely think that would be exciting to have like the former Wyatt member on that team.
Well, was it the Royal Rumble this year where we had like the Wyatts in the ring and we thought they'd team up, but they turned on Rowan? Or Rowan come in last and started attacking them? I can't remember now.
No, I'm sure it was Royal Rumble, yeah.
I think it was. So like there is like some like dissension between them. So unless like Wyatt's actually brainwashed him, then maybe it could be Eric Rowan. He could come in. Or even like during the match, if it is Rowan, he could then turn on Ambrose and Reigns, and it could be like 4v2.
I'd definitely be down for that. And by the sounds of it, the Wyatt family is going to get even bigger as well. Because over the past few weeks, they've been on about this like Sister Abigail. But they've like changed the context. It always used to be like back in the day sort of thing. And now it's like as if she's coming. I don't know.
It does seem like she's going to be an actual person that they do bring to TV. And I'm kind of surprised that they haven't done that already. So it's something I would be like really interested to see who they go with. I think it'll probably be like an unknown, like Strowman was, because it keeps that mysterious element when you don't know them. I think if it's someone that we're kind of recognised from like a past gimmick or like previously on TV, then it kind of ruins it a little bit.
I think this is one of the only faults we have with NXT, and I have thought of this in the past. You see like a talent in NXT, and then it kind of ruins that initial getting to know the superstar or diva, and you can't have like a brand new gimmick.
Yeah, it does. Like that is like the one downside. Like I think you have to watch NXT to get that feeling of like someone coming through and being like really fresh. Like anyone that comes through on the main roster now, you've already like seen them before on NXT.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of another reason why I can't figure out who I want from NXT on Ambrose and Reigns' team.
If it was like, I don't know, maybe like a legend or something, is there any legends you think could maybe team with them?
Oh gosh.
I mentioned Jericho because like he's still under contract and he's still doing live events, but for some reason he hasn't been on TV.
Yeah, I saw that he'd been doing live events. I'm sure, was he not against Bray as well for the live events?
He might have been, but like he had that match like with Bray as well,
which was like a monstrosity.
Yeah, so like they've got history. Maybe like you can correct that a little bit. Daniel Bryan, could he have been cleared?
No, I don't know if this is true because I don't keep up with Daniel Bryan, but someone had said it was either on the We Talk comments or on Twitter that Daniel Bryan was cleared a while ago. I don't think it's true. Is it true?
He was cleared by a doctor, but he wasn't cleared by a WWE doctor. So he done an interview at Gamescom where he was specifically asked the question when would see him in the ring, and he said straight up, "I've been cleared by like my doctors. They say that I'm ready to go whenever I like." But the WWE doctors and getting cleared from them is a different story. So we've seen in the past, like Christian suffered concussions and things, and even though he's been cleared to wrestle, like the WWE doctors haven't cleared him, and he's ended up retiring. So it could be the same thing.
I think if they want an oh my god moment from that, I think it's going to have to be someone like Daniel Bryan or I can't think of anyone else, especially in NXT. I think the only other one that you'd get a wow factor is someone like Sami Zayn or maybe even Finn Balor.
Well, Zayn is a good like choice actually, because he has been out quite a while, so maybe he's like in the back of people's minds. That'd be a good one. I did like pitch the idea on We Talk that they're sort of in the ring and they're waiting for someone to come out, find out who the next partner is, and then all of a sudden like Finn Balor's music hits. Like, I think it'd be a really good idea, because if you're looking at the Tron, you're waiting for that impact to see who it is. So it's a good way to like bring him out and like announce him. I think that's a really good thing, but at the same time I wouldn't want Balor to come out and then the Wyatts to go on to win, because my prediction for this match, I kind of want the Wyatt family to win, continue what they're doing, because they have lost so much in the past. I think they really need a win.
Yeah, I definitely think the Wyatts should come out on top. That's the only thing, like, it depends who you bring up, because then surely if you bring someone up and then the Wyatts win, they'll have to have like a feud with them.
Yeah, I think that's like the kind of problem with it. If it is someone from NXT, then you kind of want to bring them up and give them a win. But if it's kind of a legend, or it's Eric Rowan or someone like that, Randy Orton, then they can kind of take that loss and it won't harm them.
I honestly can't decide.
Well, I'm going to go Wyatt family.
I think we're going to have to go with Eric Rowan turning up.
Do you think he'll commit to the team of Ambrose and Reigns, though, or do you think he could turn court?
I think he will for the majority of the match, and then he'll probably just clean house with the rest of them.
Maybe he's jealous of like the other guy having a sheep mask.
Oh yeah, then we'll have like the black and white sheep.
That'd be really good. We're going to end up with like a sheep mask on a pole match as well.
Oh gosh. Could be worse. Could be that Judy Bagwell on a pole that Dale likes to rant on about.
Yeah, he's the only guy that does. It's more of his fond memories, and we'll just like tarnish it because we've no idea what he's talking about. No one does. So I'm going to go with the Wyatt family then. Are you going Wyatt family as well?
Yeah, because God knows I can't stand Roman Reigns.
Absolutely. So let's go Wyatt family. Let's see if they can just take out Roman Reigns. And you know, guys, if that's our predictions for it, but if you think, you know, you can think of someone else that it could be, then let me know about that in the comments. There's so many people it could be, but I think maybe we're on the right track if we say Eric Rowan. I think that's kind of the obvious choice, and they usually give with that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to surprise us too much.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we'll go with that obvious choice.
Yeah.
So next up, fresh from the Belabration that took place on SmackDown and making history on Raw to become the longest reigning Divas champion of all time, Nikki Bella defends her title against Charlotte in a match that'll see Nikki lose the title if she's not only pinned or submitted, but also if she's counted out or disqualified. So Elle, big question, have you calmed down from Monday night?
No, I've not. They've kind of like really put themselves in like a horrible position now. I don't see what was wrong with, like, I've not enjoyed Nikki Bella's reign at all. Like, everyone knows that. I didn't have a problem with her drawing AJ's record. She's been alright as a champ, but she's done nothing to, like, stay in the Divas division. She's done nothing to elevate it either. But then when she surpassed it, it's like, I can't explain it. It's a horrible feeling. And to, like, surpass it with that, it's kind of insulting, actually.
Well, it was all about the finish, like, I think, because like it's a finish that we've seen before. I think it was Money in the Bank.
Yeah, with the whole bits of paper and Breeze bra and all that crap.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know how like they always make a point of saying like you kind of like degrade women and like Lola kind of like speak about them in a certain way and things, and then they go about like saying the referee only like realises the difference when she pulls this paper out of her bra.
Yeah.
It's
stupid.
weird to go about, and they don't look anything the same. So to say like the referee's only looking at that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and she has to like lower her knickers. This is gross.
But I think the main thing is like whenever you see Brie come out dressed as Nikki, you know it's going to happen, and they'll always do it.
I was ranting straight away because if you watch Brie, she wears these like tights and things now, so you can spot it a mile off like when she's going to do the twin magic. And I started running straight away when I noticed her coming out like that.
Well, that's the thing. If she is going to come out, at least come out with like a t-shirt over the top or some tights on that you can like quickly pull off and then get under the ring.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the thing is, she could have been in the ring from the start. I don't see why everyone else had to be like a ringside for a match, especially one that was like built up.
What you should do is just like come out dressed as Nikki, leave Nikki backstage, and see if anyone notices that it's Brie, seeing as the like supposedly looks so alike.
Well, the wrestling ability would probably be miles better than what Nikki's is.
Well, I still think they're kind of on par a little bit. Although we haven't seen Brie too much lately.
No, it's kind of a shame as well because we've not really seen a great deal of any of Team Bella. I think that's what kind of made it worse. We've only really seen Team BAD and PCV.
But I think that is like kind of the thing. They've kind of showed off the both of them instead. So we haven't really seen people like Alicia Fox and Brie kind of get that spotlight.
And they never got to be like the true heels that they tried to make Nikki at last minute with this whole thing. They should have been counting this down while everything else was going on, but for whatever reason they didn't want to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just think it was awful booking on Monday night, and I think they've really ruined it for Night of Champions.
It was terrible.
Well, it really was. Like, everyone was looking like at the Divas division and wanting something to happen, and to give her that finish, it just kind of like it pooped all over it. So it's kind of taken away from Night of Champions because I think if Charlotte wins, it won't have the impact that it would have on Monday, where she stops Nikki getting that record. And if Nikki wins, then it kind of ruins Charlotte because she's brought through as like this dominant diva, and then she's lost like twice in a week. She's lost the title match, but at the same time, if Nikki loses it, it kind of makes even more of a mockery of the title reign.
Totally agree. I don't see if she is going to lose Sunday, Nikki. I don't see why the hell they felt the need to have her like pick up a few more days. What? It makes no sense at all. And I think I'd be more offended if Charlotte did win. For all I want Charlotte to win.
Well, I think that is what I mean. Like, if she does win, then it doesn't have that same effect. And you're kind of offended like that they've kept it till Night of Champions instead, when it would have been so much better and so much of a big moment for Charlotte to do that on Monday.
Yeah, and they had Ric Flair and everything. I thought Ric Flair would have gone off on one and maybe said, "I'll restart the match" or whatever. Yeah,
we could have like drunk Ric Flair, like just going all over the place, complaining, putting people in the figure four.
It didn't take him long to start crying, though. I did notice.
I'm sure it's like a tap. He just turns it on and off.
That was actually really horrible to watch them like both crying, and then Nikki and Brie were fighting on the outside for whatever reason, and the next minute we're all celebrating and screaming on Twitter that Nikki won.
Well, what I thought would have been really cool, and what I'd have been okay with, is if like they ended the show with Charlotte thinking she was the champion, and then they actually like had Nikki like with this campaign to say that it wasn't her, and go back and watch the footage, and then kind of overturn it. So at least we're like ended Raw on a happy note, thinking, "Oh yes, Nikki's reign's over," and then get SmackDown. It's like, oh man, maybe not.
I'm pretty sure, didn't they do something similar with CM Punk? Obviously, he didn't have a twin.
I can remember something, but I can't quite remember what it was.
Like, he had the longest reign, and then I think Cena took it off him or something, and then they had the two titles.
Well, we had CM Punk walk away when he left at Money in the Bank, and then they introduced like the championship tournament to crown a new champion, and then that was where like Cena was he was the champion at that point. But then when CM Punk come back, they also recognised him as the champion. So they didn't specifically say like Cena it wasn't the champ, or CM Punk had the title taken away from him. He still was. So even something like that, like they could have both been champion, and then that would lead to like a unification match, which could have took place at Night of Champions. Two champions coming out with a belt. That sounds like Night of Champions to me.
I just think WWE have got this awful booking, especially when it comes to the Bellas.
Well, when it comes to the Divas in general, they seem to have messed up this Divas Revolution quite a bit, to me.
I've quite enjoyed it. I've just not enjoyed the amount of tag team matches. I think BAD have really come out on top. Charlotte has as well. But I think BAD's got more of a presence for all they've lost most of the matches and things.
Yeah, I love BAD. I think that when I seen them come up, I thought maybe they'd be like the team that fell behind. And they have kind of fell behind in a way, in that they're not getting the title matches, they're not getting that focus. But I think of all the teams, they're one of the ones that probably look the best, especially Sasha. The only kind of thing that's dragging it down is that she's doing so many good things in NXT with Bayley, and she's kind of setting new heights with this Iron Woman match, which should be an amazing match. I can't wait to see that. But it's kind of holding her back from the main roster, and it makes us question why she's been brought up just now.
Well, someone actually pointed out as well that Sasha's undefeated since she's been brought up to the main roster, apart from like NXT. So why hasn't she got a title shot?
That's a big question. I think it can only be because of still being involved with Bayley at NXT. I think once that's out of the way, then she'll be like one of the people first in line for it. Would you prefer if Charlotte didn't win it and Sasha was the next person to take on Nikki?
I just want Nikki to drop the title, but I don't think I'll be satisfied whatever happens at Night of Champions. It's a little bit too late now.
Well, I can't see you rant as much as you did on Monday.
No, I'm in a better place now.
Well, let's hope that Nikki drops the title, and then you can celebrate. You can have an celebration.
An celebration. Do you think Paige could possibly cost Charlotte the belt?
I think it could be something that they maybe look at, because there is like not so much dissension, but the fact that Paige not being able to get the job done now for a couple of weeks, I think that might rub Paige the wrong way, and it kind of brings out, well, it doesn't really bring it out because we've already seen that side of her character over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It kind of just adds to it, and I don't know, maybe we could get like a heel Paige. She's been very heel on like Tough Enough and things, so maybe they could like draw on that and do that, and it'll give Charlotte a reason to lose and not look as weak as like actually taking a loss clean twice in the same week.
Yeah. I think this is a problem with most of the card again. Like, it could go either, well, not a problem, but most of these could go either way, and it's really tough to call.
It is, and like I say, with this one, the kind of focus has been taken off it a little bit with Monday night. So I think I just want Nikki to lose it, so I'm probably going to go with Charlotte.
I'm going to go with Nikki.
One thing that I did mention on We Talk, and you mentioned it earlier, about the rules for this match.
Oh, damn, you're going to get it in before me. Go on.
I'll let you go with it then.
No, because I feel bad now because you brought it up.
Well, it was my idea. You were going to steal it. Just like you're doing with predictions. So, with all these stipulations, what I kind of expect to see is they put all these stipulations in place. So, if she gets pinned or she's submitted, she's counted out or disqualified, then she'll lose the title. But the one thing that I haven't covered is if Charlotte gets disqualified. So what I kind of mentioned is if Brie gets in the ring and takes out Nikki, so that Charlotte gets disqualified and Nikki actually wins the match, I can kind of see that happening. And we're getting that fudgy finish, everyone complaining about it. But at the same time, I don't think they would dare actually end on that. I think Stephanie would come out, again, say that she's going to uphold like the integrity, which there's no integrity in Nikki's reign whatsoever. It's just cheat to win all the time. So I think that could happen. I think we'll get a restart and then we'll actually get a finish.
Do you think that Brie would do it to hurt Nikki or like just to help her?
I think to help her. And it could even like lead on to something like Nikki saying, you know, why did you do that? Like, you ended up costing us the title in the end. And it could like play off like the two of them then going at it. I don't think it'll be like the combination of like the whole Nikki and Brie thing that was completely forgotten and we're all wanting some resolution to. But maybe we can think that, we can just imagine that, and it gives her that peace of mind. No,
just because there was tension like on Monday after Brie thought she'd cost the match, and then she threw a cake on her, so...
I seen that. They must have been like sitting on the ground because she didn't throw it very high.
She'd clearly just wiped the cake across her forehead because you could see like the stretch mark.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm starting to think this is scripted.
I don't know what gave you that idea.
It's got to be the cake. Nothing else, just the cake. So let's go with that then. Are you going Nikki?
Yeah, I'm going to go Nikki.
Right, well, I'll go Charlotte. So we'll see who comes out on top on that one. I just hope Nikki loses it. That's all I'm going to say. One little plug I'll give for you, though, is that you've done a really awesome concept video of how you would book the angle. So if people haven't seen that, then we should leave a link to that in the description for them to check out.
Well, thank you. And it was definitely better booked than theirs.
It was definitely better booking. So, speaking of booking, the next match is a match I think a lot of people want to see booked, because who wouldn't want to see Ryback defend the Intercontinental Championship against Kevin Owens? So, what
No comment.
I don't know what to say about this match, to be honest. I'm not the biggest Ryback fan, but he does seem to be getting over more and more each week when you kind of judge it by the crowd. So, what I'm kind of hoping is that, like all these other matches with Kevin Owens, he brings the best out of his opponent, but I think it's kind of a lot to ask for.
Ryback's a total bar.
Well, he's the powerhouse, so like he plays on that, but there's not much else to his actually wrestling ability.
No, there really isn't. I've been saying it for a while now. I don't think he belongs. Well, he does belong, but he needs like a mouthpiece or something, because for all he's supposed to be this like big macho man, he's really not intimidating at all.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. Yeah, it's just maybe it's something that I'm missing. Like, I'm sure like people will tell in the comments again, like, stop like dissing Ryback. He's such an amazing guy, and I just don't get it. I just seems like being that one trick pony when it comes to like the strength and like being able to like lift up the Big Show and people like that. But in terms of this match, I don't really see how it's going to like come out as like a good match, because when you look at Kevin Owens' matches, all these moves that he's pulled off, like some incredible moves, like kind of like the reversal, like a brain buster from the top rope, things like that. Like, even a pop-up powerbomb, I don't see him like being able to do them kind of things on Ryback. And the way that Ryback's kind of got that, got people saying, you know, he's not safe to work with, it makes me think it's going to be really weird to see him try and pull off these moves, because I think there's a danger of like them going badly wrong and something happening.
I just hope it doesn't, because we need someone like Kevin Owens around. I wouldn't be surprised. Either that or Ryback will get injured again. It just seemed to be like his forte.
It does. I think we could be looking at that. But it surprises me that Owens is getting another title shot, because he's had like so many US title shots. Now he's getting an Intercontinental title shot. It says to me he should really like be winning this title sometime soon, because otherwise he's getting all these shots he's not getting anywhere.
I think they've been a bit too preemptive with Kevin Owens. I think they maybe should have left him back in NXT for a little while, and they've brought him up, had his feud with Cena, and then they don't know what to do with him.
Well, I kind of like what they're doing with him. It's just
It's not what you said earlier on.
What, with Owens?
Yeah, you said you weren't very fussed on the Ryback stuff.
Well, I'm not fussed on the Ryback stuff, but I like what they've done with Owens in terms of like Cena and Cesaro. Like, those were like amazing matches. So like, that's why I'm kind of hoping that he does bring the best out of Ryback, but I can't see it happening. I think even in terms of this match, I think this is probably something that'll go on for a while. So maybe I'm kind of inclined to say that Ryback wins this match, and if they get a rematch, then I could see Owens winning that.
Oh, really? I've totally gone the opposite with this one. I want Kevin Owens to win, so we don't have to like witness it again.
Well, I would agree with that. I'd be perfectly happy if that happens. So you think Owens could win the belt?
I want him to, and he should.
I think he should. I don't know, Ryback's only just recently back from injury though, so it kind of makes us think they might keep it on him a little bit longer. They love the like long title reigns at the minute.
He's been too busy learning these show tunes and reading these soppy books.
Well, I don't know where the book come into it. That was a bit odd, wasn't it? Is that the book that's changed his life?
Yeah, I didn't have a clue what the hell it was.
It was a strange one. Maybe like Owens can just pull that book out and smash him over the head with it, and that'll like allow him to pick up the win.
I'll just whack him in the knee. It'll probably give him like a staph infection or whatever he had.
Get some payback for CM Punk.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That's pretty much that one sorted. I don't know. I really want to go for Owens, but I think it's kind of like a case of heart versus head. Heart wants Owens, head says Ryback, so I'm going to stick with Ryback on this one.
I think your win on the last pay-per-view's gone in your head, because so far you've tried to like go the opposite of me.
Well, the same for the first two matches, and I've been like, hang on, you can't go the same. I'm going to throw some curveballs in there.
Yeah.
So are you going to stick with Owens?
Yeah, I have to stick with Owens.
Right, well, let's see who actually picks up the wins in this. I don't know, I think this could go either way. There's a lot of matches, like you said, they could go either way. And I think this next match is definitely one of them, because we've got the first of two matches that features the man, Seth Rollins. So he's pulling double duty. Firstly, he defends the United States Championship against John Cena. So what I'm going to say here, first off, just to get this out of the way, John Cena was beaten by Seth Rollins in the last pay-per-view. So surely, by Cena logic, that means that Cena's going to win this match, and he's also going to win the rematch.
Doesn't Cena usually lose the first two and then wins the next one?
Right, he seems to lose one and then win everything.
You've clearly studied him a lot more than I have.
Well, I'm a big John Cena fan.
I'm really stumped for the two matches in themselves. I think definitely Rollins is either going to get both of them or none. I don't think he'd benefit by just holding the US title.
Well, I think that's like a problem position for it, because I think if he does like hold the US title, if he wins that match against Cena, then regardless of what happens in like the championship match, it puts the US championship on the back burner, because it's always playing second fiddle of the world championship.
Yeah.
So if he loses the world championship, he's not going to care about having the United States championship, because he's going to want that back. And if he loses the US championship, at least if it goes to Cena, then like we've seen with Cena in the past in the Open Challenge, it gets like it back at the forefront, and it gives like Cena a chance to go up against someone else and like put over some other stars.
And it definitely took Cena away from that top spot, because as soon as he lost it, he was near enough back to the top again. So I definitely think it'd be a great idea to give Cena it back. But I don't know if I see it happening or not. I can't decide.
I think it's one of these ones where it's really hard to actually predict what's going to happen, especially when you've got like two matches to think about here, and then also the possibility of Sheamus cashing in at the end.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of the US Championship, just thinking about that, I would prefer to see Cena win it. So that's kind of my prediction. I would love to see Seth suffer the loss in this first match, and then it kind of puts him in doubt for the main event.
I think one thing I'd love to happen is maybe see Sting interfere or something, not necessarily get involved in the match, but then cost him that title. So then when he goes into the other one, he is like in doubt and he doesn't know if he's going to pull through, or it'll add some like more fuel to the fire.
I think that'd be like a good way to do it, because like Sting has kind of got in Rollins' head, especially like taking out the statue that he loved so much, and he didn't even like get to like see it in the lobby of the WWE headquarters. All this worrying about your statue, Sting just chucks it in the bin.
I think it took longer to make than it did to break.
It did. We're waiting for it forever. Finally got it, and it's just been dumped. So I think, like, for me, it's probably best for business that Cena wins it, and then it puts that doubt on Rollins going into the main event.
I definitely think we're going to get like a chewy finish for both matches. I'll be surprised if it's a clean match.
I think so. I think there'll definitely be something that happens. We've seen like Rollins trying to get himself himself disqualified by not attacking the referee, but like kicking out. We've seen in the past at the referee. So I think something like that could maybe play into it, or he'll try and do something to give himself an advantage and it'll backfire. Anything that like just makes him then doubt himself for the main event. That's what I'm kind of hoping for.
Or we could get a total swerve ball and maybe the Shield will interfere, and then after that match we'll have the tag team match.
Oh, could you imagine that? Seth Rollins triple duty.
That'd be one hell of a match, and it'd really do something for Seth, I think.
I think Sting would be coming out then, just not wondering what's going on. He's going to need some backup. Who's going to be his guys?
Good point. You had to go and ruin it. I thought I was in a roll there.
That would have been really good, but then we've got the Sting main event. So, yeah, I don't know. Can't see that happening.
The White, because then... Oh, but then that goes after my other prediction. Damn.
It's a weird one. I think it is really hard to predict. But I'm going to go Cena. How about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cena. I don't, like you said, I don't think Rollins is going to leave with anything. I think it's either going to be the making or the breaking of him.
Well, I'm hoping it's the breaking of him, because I think that'll be like really interesting. So, like, moving on from that, we've got the World Championship match. So it's Seth Rollins against Sting, and it's a real big deal for Sting to actually get this opportunity at the WWE Championship. It's definitely a title that he should hold at some point, but I don't think this is the time. I think it's kind of awkward whatever happens, because it should be like a really big occasion if Sting wins the championship, and this is kind of like come together so quick. I think it's either going to be a case of like Rollins wins and then Sheamus cashes in.
I don't know though, because actually thinking about it now, if Sting was to win it, the whole thing in itself would be a celebration. Fair enough, it wouldn't be a long celebration if Sheamus does win, but not only would he have like the cash in, he'd have like the celebration of being able to defeat Sting.
I think so. It's like you mentioned before, like getting that the kind of legend that just it verifies you, getting a win over someone like that.
Yeah.
But I think if Sting wins it, then the Authority being like so against Sting and everything, like with the history between the Authority and Sting, Triple H and Sting, then they would be bound to like send Sheamus out there to win it, like to cash in and attempt to win it. And I could kind of maybe see that happening, like the cash in on Sting and win it. But if it does, then it totally devalues Sting actually winning the match.
I don't know, because at the end of the day, Sting still would have been champ, and it probably would be one of the only times that he'd probably get a shot at it.
I just think one of the like reasons for Sting winning it that'd be really cool is we've got this history with the Authority. So if Sting wins it, then we're going to have like a rematch next month with Rollins, and Triple H can be like, you know, if you don't get the job done, you're out the Authority. And then it can lead on to like Triple H then going up against Sting, and it kind of rekindles their history and gives them like that championship match. So it gives Sting like a nice run, and I think that's like a run that he does deserve. It's just kind of a bit of a weird time to do it. Then again, like leading in at the end of the year, you can have Sting kind of drop the title to someone in the lead up to WrestleMania. So maybe it kind of makes sense. I don't know.
I definitely think we're going to see Triple H, and it'll probably lead into Survivor Series having like Team Sting versus Team Authority or something along those lines.
I think that's probably something that we'll say. I think there'll definitely be interference. I think there'll be quite a lot. So I'm expecting quite a few people down to ringside. I don't think it'll be like quite WrestleMania where we had like DX and the NWO rock up. But I think there'll be like quite a lot of people around there. So yeah, I think it's hard. I think
it's more of a case, is it Rollins or is it Sheamus who leaves Night of Champions as the champion?
Yeah, I think we should maybe split this and say like we're prediction for if Rollins and Sting wins, but then what happens if Sheamus cashes in?
I think I'm going to go with Sting and Sheamus.
I want to, like, I would love to see Sting win it, but I think I'm going to go with Rollins so that he's all happy and he thinks like he's lost the US Championship. He wins the main title and he's like, you know, yes, I've done it. I'm the man. I've proved it. I'm the man. And then Sheamus' music hits. He comes out and he ends up like taking it off him, and Rollins goes from the man to a broken man. I think that'll be like great like character progression from him, just to see how he then recovers from that.
I can't decide actually if Sheamus would win.
I think he would. I think
it all depends on if Rollins wins the first match. I think that's going to probably set the tone.
I really hope he loses it. So, what would you say then for Sheamus?
He has to win it. He has to cash in and win. Definitely. He's been on a roll.
Well, I think if he does cash in and Rollins wins, then it says that, you know, Rollins is the man, like they've been saying, which is like kind of something that they've been saying, but no one believes it. But then if he does, then it's like, who's next for Rollins? There's not a lot of sort of people like can then go up, as he's like took on quite a few. So I think it's a lot fresher, and it just refreshes the championship if it moves over to someone else, whether that be Sting or Sheamus. But I would kind of lean towards it being Sheamus.
And let's face it, we're all a little bit bored of Seth Rollins now.
Yeah, well, he comes out and he cuts a promo every week, and I kind of fall asleep during it, like halfway through. It's like a 10-minute like thing of him going on and on and on, just like Cesaro always kind of brings up.
It's such a shame as well, because when you think back to when he was with the Shield,
he was so awesome.
Yeah, see, that's another reason why. I should get a point if there's a Shield reunion.
If there's a Shield reunion, I'll give you 10 points.
Yeah, that's alright then.
There you go. If there's not, I'll deduct you 10 points.
No, that's not fair. Just because you're trying to win.
Give me a good advantage. I'll probably win then.
So what are you going to go with?
I'm going to go with Seth Rollins to win, and then Sheamus to cash in, and Sheamus to win.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a night for Sheamus.
It looks like it is. Do you think it is?
I don't think it's the right time, personally. I think he will, but I don't think it's the right time. I think there's too much going on at the minute.
So are you going to say Sting win and then Sheamus?
Yeah.
So it would differ slightly on this one. I think it could be Sheamus tonight. I don't know if it is the right time, but at the same time I'm so bored of Rollins that I would prefer Sting to win it, Sheamus to win it. So I'm happy with that.
I definitely think it'd add some character to have like Seth lose everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the best way to go about it. And it just, maybe if it like even takes him out of the authority, maybe like Sheamus could be the new guy. And then we can see like a different kind of booking where, you know, they're really behind Sheamus and he's not the cowardly champion that Rollins was. Maybe he could go face and then want to take it back and it'll be like a different side of him. And then he can reunion with the Shield.
It's not the first time they've done it. Like they did it with Randy Orton, so I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, they always rehash stuff. So I think that could be the case with this one.
Yep, totally agree.
So that brings us to a close on our predictions, but if you would like to submit your own, you can do so at smacktalks.org/predictions, and then the results will be up Monday morning so you can see how you do. Elle, is there anything that you'd like to promote?
Well, I know you've got your Until Dawn finale tomorrow, but I've got like 2 weeks of it left. And then I've got, from now until TK16, I'm doing a Divas match every day, which is around 40 Divas matches, because some people have been asking for it. Then I've got Night of Champions through the years. We've got an episode of Tomb Raider together next week. And then I've got my career, which, quite frankly, is getting boring.
But you've got to stick it out now. Do you think you'll win the title before the end?
God, no. I don't even think I'm going to go into a decent feud.
Has creative just got nothing for you?
I might just retire if, like, nothing happens between now and 2K16.
Oh, that'd be such a disappointment. You've got, like, I'm sure you hit 50 episodes, like, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I'll be on to about episode 60, I think, by the time the game comes out as well, so...
You can't just retire. Like,
yeah,
you have to kind of fast forward. Someone's been sitting there watching these hours and hours of You're My Career mode, and then it gets to the point where you just give up. What's with that?
Yeah, but actually what happened to You're My Career? I don't remember you sticking it out.
Well, I didn't do it on YouTube, so I didn't have a reason to. But
yeah.
If anyone's seen my new banner on my channel, I've updated that. So now that mentions My Career mode and Universe mode. So maybe I'll be sticking it out in terms of 2K16 with some new features.
False advertising, that's what that is.
What? How dare you? Speaking of advertising, if you want to check out my playthrough of Until Dawn, then that's up on the SmackTalks Extra channel, so I'll leave a link to that in both our descriptions. What I would say is make sure, like, if you do watch it, you also watch L's, because we're kind of playing out differently. There's, like, depending on the choices that you make, it changes the game. So what we've found is that our versions differ, like, quite heavily.
Yeah, definitely. It's been definitely, like, really awesome, especially seeing you cut someone's fingers off.
Well, I didn't have the bottle to stick that out. I really wanted to. I was sitting there, like, cringing at the thought of it. It was just like there's an actual hand in that bear trap. And I thought the wolf was going to get us.
There was no wolf. I actually think your playthrough is a lot more violent than what mine is. I think that might be a reflection of your personality.
Are you calling me a violent person here?
Well, according to your, like, psychiatrist on the game, yeah.
That guy knows nothing. That guy's a fraud. It's really cool though. It's probably my game of the year at this point. I think it's definitely got to be up there. It's like one of the most, like, in terms of the story, it's so gripping when you get into it. And I was playing it like really late at night, so I kind of got into that whole, like, not knowing what was going to happen and listening for all these noises, and it just really added to it. So I think story-wise, it's just an amazing story. It really pulls you into it with the characters.
Oh, definitely. It's like watching a horror movie, but you get to participate and see who lives or dies and who sings Let It Go. Oh, yeah, Let It Go. No, he wants to build a snowman. I know.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
Are you sure you don't want to, like, give us a rendition before we go?
Like I say, I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
I can do the knocking if you want to sing.
No, I think I'll pass up on that opportunity. It's quite late, so, like, you know, I've got a bit of a sore throat. Maybe next time, like, I'll sing the intro or something like that.
Yeah, we definitely need to work on an intro.
Yeah, we can do a duet. Say you don't want to do it now, do you?
No.
Well, I think that brings it to a close. Do you have any plans for Night of Champions? Any drinking games? Because I know Delzinski's challenged you. He's part of the challenge there, but he's not too eager to participate himself.
Yeah, I thought not, like with his Nikki Bella challenge. I don't think that's very fair, but I'll participate. I'm not bothered. I'm actually thinking about putting a video up with the rules to the drinking game. I don't know if that's for definite, but if not, it'll definitely be on Twitter.
Absolutely, you should do. You should at least put something on Twitter so we can all play along with the game. It sounds awesome to me. I'm definitely going to participate. I'm not like Delzinski. I'm not going to pass up this challenge.
Good. Let's all get wasted.
Absolutely. And then we won't care if Nikki wins at that point. We'll all be wasted.
Exactly. And we'll probably, the screwy finish will probably make a lot more sense.
It will. I'm sure we'll enjoy it. We'll be like so happy. Like we'll just be drunk. So whatever happens, we'll have a good night. So guys, if you do get involved in that, let me know what you're drinking, your predictions, and of course how you feel when you wake up on Monday morning. I've still got my beer from Stone Cold, so I think I'm going to have that in my 2K16 glass.
I'll rub it in.
Yeah, I will do. I'm looking forward. I'm going to savour it. It'll be great. I'm sure you've got plenty lined up.
Yeah.
So, guys, make sure to get involved. Let me know your predictions in the comments, what you'll be drinking, and I think that is pretty much it. Is there anything else you want to mention?
No, I think that's everything.